AFR On Demand is brought to you by Breck Golf. Try Beaver Creek today, just 20 minutes from downtown Baton Rouge in the Zachary area. They've got a PGA Tour driving range, a short game practice area, 30 to 40-yard practice shots. It's a great place to chip and putt and practice if you don't have time for a full round. Book your tee time today, golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Whew. LSU landed 4 commits. College World Series is set. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. It's all coming up on today's show, but we're going to start in a very different place. So let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Quote, it's total effing BS without the edits. That is what one Big 12 athletic director told Ross Dellinger in response to a judge's ruling on Monday that Brenden Sorsby will be eligible for the 2026 football season. Not sure I could have said it any better myself. Well, I could if this was like just an internet-only broadcast, so I could have actually said the words. That would have been a lot of fun. Normally, a lot of you on topics like this come to me because you know that I'm going to do the thing where I yell and scream and get red-faced and end up sweating, and then I have belly sweat, and I tell them you just go to break at the end, and I lost my voice, and it's all awkward because I have to do a live read, but then I can't do it because I lost my voice and I'm out of breath. Not going to do that right now. I actually don't plan on doing that right now. But you never know. Sometimes I get worked up and then you light the fuse and then, I can't say that I'm terribly surprised, but clearly there's a lot of people around college athletics that are, judging by the reaction, which is plentiful, and we're going to get to a lot of that here today. If you're not familiar, I'll just break this down. Cliff's Notes version, super simple. Brenden Sorsby's guy got paid about $5 million out of the transfer portal to go be the quarterback at Texas Tech. He was at Cincinnati last year, started his career at Indiana. It has been found that, and he has admitted to betting on quite literally thousands of sporting events, including college football games, for the team he was on when he was at Indiana. He was also doing prize picks last year at Cincinnati. He's admitted to it. He's gone to rehab, for gambling addiction, all that, whatever. There is a black and white rule by the NCAA, which is if you bet on college sports, college or pro, you are ineligible immediately. He bet on college sports, admitted betting on college sports. NCAA deemed him ineligible. He goes to court to get an injunction today. A judge in Texas granted him that injunction, so he'll be eligible. Now everyone around college football is melting, which this is actually very strange, indirect way. Kind of great, because this is a unifying moment. I mean, nobody on Twitter ever agrees on anything. And everyone agrees that this is, as the Big 12 athletic director said it, quote, total effing BS. Although he actually said the words, which I wish I could do right now. I don't know what's going to happen. There is, Ross Dellinger is reporting that there's some discussions among Big 12 athletic directors about not playing Texas Tech this year in any sport, which would be great. If you would have some type of unifying force against something which is so terribly, obviously wrong, that's great. But I have another idea. It's something I've said here before. I'm going to say it again. It's the singular group of people that has the power to put an end to all of this. But they're cowards and hypocrites and they won't do it. And it's the university presidents. You see, at its most basic level, like for one quick moment, just suspend belief for me, okay, just for one quick moment. Forget about Congress, forget about lawsuits, forget about NIL, forget about all that, okay, just for a second. Rev share, conferences, super leagues, TV contracts, just do the little Men in Black clicky light thing where you forget it all for a second, just for a second, okay? College football teams are part of a university. Universities have presidents that oversee that operation. And I'm not here having the conversation about amateurism. Are they there for grades? I'm talking about functionally, that is a true statement. A university has a president of a system, like in the case of LSU, Dr. Roos. Okay? If the university presidents would mandate their athletic departments follow NCAA rules and abide by their rulings, this is done. But Matt, the NCAA ruled Brenden Sorsby ineligible, but he went to court and got an injunction. That's true. And Brenden Sorsby could today walk back to Texas Tech and go, hey guys, look, got my injunction, I'm good to play. And if the university president said to Brenden Sorsby, that's great, Brenden, the NCAA ruled you ineligible, you're not welcome to play at Texas Tech this year. You can remain enrolled as a student, but you are ineligible. So you're not going to play. That's the trump card. See, the judge, his job isn't to enforce NCAA rule. His job is to interpret the law. The NCAA, their job is to enforce the rules they set forth. The problem we have right now in college athletics, one of the problems we have right now in college athletics is the NCAA tries to enforce the rules set forth. Player doesn't like the ruling, goes to court to get an injunction to supersede the NCAA's ruling. This is really easy. If the university presidents would say collectively, hey, we all choose to be a part of the NCAA. No one made us join the NCAA. We, as a university system, whatever, chose to be dues-paying members of the NCAA. And part of that agreement is that we agree to abide by their rules. So let's abide by their rules. Brenden Sorsby, bet on sports. There's a black and white rule that says he's ineligible. The president of Texas Tech could step forward and say, he's ineligible, he's not playing at Texas Tech. And if every university president around the country do the same thing, this is not an issue. By the way, I'm going to sit here and tell you the same damn thing when RJ Lewis goes to court to get an injunction to play basketball at LSU this year. I'm going to say the same damn thing. The group of people that actually have the power to fix this part of it are the university presidents. And most of them are hypocrites and cowards. Because while they like to sit in their ivory tower and talk about how they're great academicians and all this sort of crap, the bottom line is they care way more about being good in athletics because of the attention and the revenue it drives and the benefit that windfall presents to the entire university. So that's why the university presidents did go, yeah, Congress, courts, we need We need Congress to step in. Why? Do it yourself. It's your school. Don't let him play. Hey, man, but then he'll go somewhere else. And if that university president had a sack, they tell him too, you're not welcome to play here. Good luck in the NFL supplemental draft. But none of them have the balls to do it. So here we are. A dude quite literally bet on sports, bet on games that he was dressed out. He's there on the team. Bet on those games. And now he's going to play college football. Effectively, that just set a precedent. You can think this is absurd. There's legalities in here as well. But that just set a precedent to go throw games. Let's go throw games. Let's go bet on the game. Let's throw it. And then, let's get an injunction to keep playing. It is fundamentally absurd. And everyone, even Twitter, agrees today that it's fundamentally absurd. And the one group of people that could actually fix it are sitting there in their ivory tower doing nothing about it. And it's disgusting. It's the university presidents. They could put an end to all of this if they collectively got together and said, enough. We are all dues-paying members of the NCAA. We chose to be a part of that organization. And part of that is to abide by their rules. So let's abide by their rules. And I think there's about as good a chance of that happening as me waking up tomorrow with a full head of hair. So, Brenden Sorsby. Onward. Gabe Feldman, Tulane law professor. He's a sports law professor. He'll be with us in about 17 minutes to try to make sense of this. I don't know that there is much making sense of it, but maybe he'll answer some of those questions for us. Ross Dellinger will be here in hour 3. Cade Cooper is one of the 4 commitments that LSU's gotten in the last 24 hours. He'll be with us in hour 3 as well. We got a lot to do. We're glad you're hanging out with us. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with a great taste of Bud Light. Might have had me a cold Bud Light or 2 this weekend out by the pool. Bud Light, of course, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of your Fighting Tigers of LSU, official beer of the Saints. Last Thursday, we were over in Lake Charles, just in the shadows of the McNeese campus. Bud Light, the official beer, the McNeese Cowboys. I'm telling you, whether your favorite watering hole, restaurant, your own back patio, after you cut the grass, going for a swim, or heading to the beach, drink easy with a great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Okay, y'all, let's knock out a quick break. Come back. As I mentioned, LSU did land four commitments in the last 24 hours. We'll run through all that here as we continue. We're glad you're with us on a Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows.
AFR.
REV, Rev Fiber. Man, Rev is out there laying fiber in neighborhoods left and right. Santa Maria, Country Club Crossing, Country Club West, Highland Greens, Highland Lakes, Highland Plantation, Highland Trace, Lafitte Hill, Live Oak Estates, Homestead, Jefferson Crossing, Round Oak, Elliott Road, Hoosiatu, Tiger Bend, even outside of Baton Rouge, Gonzales, Prairieville, Plaquemine, Denham, Springfield, Hammond, Ponchatoula, Covington, Mandeville, LaPlace, Reserve, Thibodaux, Houma, LaRose, Grand Isle, everywhere, y'all. Have a better internet experience. Faster internet speeds, up to 5 gigs, backed by the security of an all-fiber network. What more could you possibly want? RevFiber.com. That's where you go to get your quote. 100% local service and support. So you're never going to be routed to an overseas call center. Wi-Fi equipment's included at no additional cost. It's RevFiber. R-E-V, RevFiber.com.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and we do shutters too.
Gabe Feldman will be here in a dozen minutes. His Tulane law professor focuses on sports law. He'll explain as best he can the whole Brenden Sorsby thing, the ruling that came down from the judge today. That's coming up. So we got a lot of different things to talk about with respect to the Brenden Sorsby thing, because it does reshape. I mean, if he does in fact play and the judge granted the injunction, I mean, if he does in fact play, I mean, that reshapes the landscape of the college football season. He is, when you look at the betting odds, Texas Tech is now the favorite to win the Big 12. Of course, that would mean they would have an automatic berth in the college football playoff. And on top of that, not only Sorsby's Heisman odds, but the college football playoff odds to win the national championship. Texas Tech has gone from 25-1 to 14-1 just in one day with this ruling. So they went from plus $1.05 to win the Big 12 to a minus 150 favorite. So, yeah, I mean, this is really significant with Sorsby being eligible in the national landscape of college football. So there's a ton of reaction to it. We're going to get through all of it today. My goodness, what a 24-hour span for Lane Kiffin and the LSU football program. June is a massive recruiting weekend where you have official visitor weekends, and this is back-to-back weekends now where LSU has had 6 official visitors. And, the first weekend was marked by 4 of the 6 being 5 stars, headlined by some of the top prospects in the country, including Easton Royal, the number 1 receiver in the country. Well, LSU this weekend welcomed yet again 6 official visitors, and it was a really productive weekend for Lane Kiffin and his staff as they landed 4 commitments in a 24-hour span. Remember what happened on Wednesday when Jaden Bryant, the 5-star edge rusher from South Carolina, who had been committed to LSU since 2 days after Kiffin was hired, he flipped. Now remember, last weekend 5-star Abraham Cisse was on campus. This weekend 5-star KJ Green on campus. In between, Jaden Bryant looks around and goes, wait a minute, like I've been committed to y'all since January, and now you're still recruiting elite-level guys at my position. He has the offer from Miami. Boom, he flips. Well, LSU wasted no time as KJ Green committed to LSU on Sunday morning.
Another one.
And they were just getting started. Green is 6'4", 230 pounds, had offers from everybody. 24/7 Sports ranks him as the number 8 prospect in America, regardless of position. So when you look, they went and replaced an elite edge rusher in Jaden Bryant with another elite edge rusher in KJ Green. So Green right now is the 2nd highest rated commit in the class behind only Ahmad Hudson. So you lost 1, you gained 1 almost immediately. Boom. Well, not to be outdone, just a couple hours later after KJ Green's commitment, Brennan Lacey, a 3-star running back out of Texas, committed.
Another one.
I got many more of those to go as well. Now, Lacey is really interesting because when you look at Brennan Lacey, he is a 3-star out of the state of Texas, and he gave an interview with Rivals after his commitment, and part of that interview, he talked about Kevin Smith, the running backs coach, seeing the potential in him and wanting to extract that. He's a 10-9 guy in the 100 right now, and a guy at 6'1", 180 pounds who has a ton of upside. Remember, LSU has 6 scholarship running backs on the roster for 2026. You return Harlem Berry, you return Caden Durham, and then you went and added 4 guys via the portal. So you got 6 running backs on the roster. All 6 of them have eligibility remaining in 2027, meaning if you're Lane Kiffin right now, you're not looking at an elite level running back prospect for 2027, like a top of the class type guy, because you're not going to go pay a 5-star number 1 running back for 2027, because Harlem Berry is very likely back for his junior season. And Dylan Jones could be back, and Caden Durham could be back, and all those guys you just brought in. So you're probably not looking at a guy who would come in and make an immediate impact. So they're looking for prospects that they can bring in that will stay, that they can develop. And so clearly this is one they like. It is also worth mentioning there's 2 other in-state prospects that LSU continues recruiting at running back. 4 stars, Jaden Miles from Catholic in Baton Rouge and Trey Martin from Franklin Parish in Winsboro. It is heavily thought that Martin is a Bama lean and Jaden Miles is an LSU lean. So maybe you end up getting Jaden Miles from Catholic High just down the road, and then Brennan Lacey. And that'd be 2 running backs in this class. I'm not naive. I don't think all the guys the 4 that signed via the portal, plus Berry and Durham, will all be back for 2027. You're going to have to fortify those numbers, but you've gotten 2 here now. So after Brennan Lacey commits on Sunday, turn the page to Monday morning, and early on Monday, LSU added a cornerback in in-state Marquez Davis.
Another one.
Remember, Shea Dixon was here and talked about Marquez Davis when he was taking his official visit a week ago.
He's been listed as a receiver, and that's what he primarily plays, but he plays both ways. And he'll visit at the end of the month with his family, and I'm not going to be surprised at all if they don't try to just offer, get him committed, and get that done, because he's clearly one of – and there's always guys like that. I mean, you can remember when Mo Claiborne came out of Fair Park, and he was not ranked. He was a 3-star at the end. He was playing every position, and you get into camp, and you get a feel for it, and you decide, okay, I'm playing corner for sure, and then you look up, and he's, the number 6 pick in the NFL draft? So guys like that are here in Louisiana, and I think that's who they're circling when you're pivoting off of, hey, we're trying not to get involved in the highest NIL wars out there. You go for development, and that's this type of player.
It's very obviously what they're doing here. Again, 1,000-point scorer in basketball, 6'3", 180. He is the quintessential Corey Raymond corner when you think of, obviously, the high end with a guy like DJ Pickett at 6'5", but you can think back to Eli Ricks coming out of California, Cordell Flott. That's what Corey Raymond wants. He wants long, rangy corners, and here you have a guy at 6'3", 185 pounds, is in the state of Louisiana, super athletic. You're looking at this ball of clay that you hope you can mold, because as you look to 2027, Pickett and Woodland and Jakeem Jackson and Haven Finney, and every cornerback on your roster this year for 26, like the running backs, every one of them has eligibility in 2027. Again, I'm not naive. I don't think they're all going to be back in 2027. But the point is, you expect certainly DJ Pickett to be back for his junior year. So why would you go invest in a top-tier corner? This is why Joshua Dobson is not going to be a part of this class, because they're not going to pay the number one corner in the country to come and sit. They're going to pay the top-tier guys. It'll be immediate impact guys, and then look for development after that. And that's what they did with the 4th commit in a 24-hour period.
Another one.
His name is Cade Cooper, who, by the way, is going to be on the show in hour number 3 today. Cade Cooper is a 4-star wide receiver who out of Pennsylvania, who Monday afternoon committed to the Tigers. So Cooper became the 4th commit in a 24-hour period. He's an interesting one. I mean, they're all, I guess, interesting, but he's an interesting one because this is a dude who's 6'3", 195, who's got a bunch of big offers. Notre Dame, Penn State, Ole Miss, Ohio State, Auburn. He's got more than a dozen offers from big-time schools. But Coleman is a guy, Cooper is a guy who, similarly to the other receivers, is probably not coming into play right away. LSU has 13 scholarship receivers this year. All but one of them, Jace Brown, have eligibility for 2027. Now, there's 6 guys that are redshirt juniors. So then their 4th year and could come back for a 5th year in 2027. Again, I don't think that's going to happen for all of them. But the numbers are robust enough to where you're probably not looking at a situation where you need any of the guys in this class at receiver to come in and be immediate impact guys for LSU. The one guy who would be that if you get him is Easton Royal. You'll pay Easton Royal because you believe Easton Royal will step on LSU's campus day one, boom, and be an impact guy in 2027. The other 3 receivers, or the 3 receivers LSU currently has committed, are not necessarily that. They're guys that you're going to bring in that are going to sit and wait their turn and hopefully develop, and then in time be really good players. The question continues, in an era where nobody stays, why would you recruit guys and bet on the come and hope that they stay? That's the soundbite we keep playing over and over for you from Lane Kiffin about that he said in the spring about staying and developing and evaluating character, and how important the character evaluation is in high school recruitment now, because guys don't have to stay. So you want to be clear with guys who are going to come, not to take a check, that are willing to stay and develop. That's what you have with 3 of the 4 guys that LSU got committed here in the last 24 hours. The one guy who's going to be an impact guy immediately is KJ Green. The other guys are developmental guys that you hope are good character guys. They're going to stay, develop, and eventually be really good players for the Tigers. But LSU in one day doubled its commits from 4 to 8. So we got all this information up at LouisianaSports.net if you want to catch up on all of it. I do want to go a little deeper into Lane Kiffin's recruiting strategy as illustrated by these 4 commits. We'll get to that coming up here in about half an hour from right now. We are brought to you by Evamore, EVAMOR, evamore.com, evamore.com. Got it right here every single day on the set with me, and I drink it every day. Saturday, we had an awesome day, man. Hung out by the pool, had some friends come over, had some fajitas, some margaritas. Really had a great day, but I had plenty of Evamore that I would have margarita, mix in a bottle of Evamore. If you want the 20-ounce, the 32-ounce, the 64-ounce bottles, they got them all for you, whichever is the most convenient, whatever you prefer. I love to carry around a couple of 64-ounce bottles with me, knock a few of those out in a day. Be amazing what wonders being properly hydrated will do for you. So make sure you drink Evamore, EVAMOR, great Louisiana product with national distribution. Evamore.com, evamore.com, EVAMOR, evamore.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We're going to knock out a quick break. Monday show is brought to you by Relief Windows. Again, in 30 minutes, I will sort of go deeper dive into what's very obvious about Kiffin's recruiting strategy here. Greg Sankey debunked the idea of the SEC and the Big Ten joining for a Super League. Okay, Pinocchio. We'll get into that a bit later. Ross Dellinger will be here in hour 3. Cade Cooper, LSU receiver commit, will be here in hour 3 as well. So a ton to do, and glad you're hanging out. When we come back, Gabe Feldman, Tulane law professor, will be here to kind of explain some of the legalities of the Sorsby situation. That's next. It's AFR.
AFR.
I mentioned we had a pool day on Saturday. It was great. Had some friends over. Well, Friday night, as we were kind of getting ready, Erica got me to help her plant all the dippledinas out by our pool area, whether it's patio pots or your flower beds. Man, they got such an amazing selection over at Clegg's Nursery. Beautiful spring and summer colors that really pop. You want to beautify your outdoor area, let Clegg's Nursery help you do it. Now, the other thing, too, of course, if you want to keep pests away, they have all the products you need. One of the things I mention all the time is that Aeon mosquito barrier that they have at Clegg's. We got ours. It's a box, comes with 2 tubes, but the size of a track baton. I tell you all the time. You pop the top off, fill it up with water to the fill line, shake it, hang it on your property line. Boom, you're done with mosquitoes 90 days at a time. The thing's like $30. And if it doesn't work for you, you're out $30. But I'm telling you, it's wonderful. I mean, it's the only mosquito treatment we use at our house, and we do not have a mosquito problem. So get on by. See our friends today at Clegg's Nursery. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery. Love telling you about our friends over at Insurance Network of Louisiana. My buddy Jay over there told me at the end of last week that he just finished up another auto policy for an AFR listener. Guy's name was Thomas, saved $731 annually on his auto insurance. I mean, they're cleaning up right now, like we never missed a beat. All are saving good money. So listen, if it's been a while since, or if you can't remember the last time you shopped for your auto insurance, let our friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana shop to find you better coverage for less money. It's really easy. You call, they'll do all the legwork. They'll look at your current policy, see if they can get you better coverage for less money. Auto, home, business insurance as well. If you're a business owner, you've got to do this. Help improve your bottom line. Insurance Network of Louisiana. LAinsurance.net, LAinsurance.net.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
This is certainly an unprecedented day in the history of college sports. And I don't want to sound overdramatic here, but gambling has always been a thick red line. And the fact that Brenden Sorsby, who admitted to placing thousands of bets for $90,000, including 40 bets on his own team while he was at Indiana, the fact that he is going to be, or has been legally cleared to play college football this season at Texas Tech is simply something that we've never seen before. And it's the latest manifestation of one of the biggest issues in college sports right now, Pat, which is local rulings overruling what the NCAA rules are supposed to be.
It's Pete Thamel reacting to the Brenden Sorsby news. If you haven't heard yet today, the Texas Tech quarterback was in fact granted an injunction by a judge in the state of Texas, so he is eligible for now for the 2026 college football season. Gabe Feldman, Tulane law professor. He's on Twitter, X, at SportsLawGuy. If you want to give him a follow, good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Gabe, we appreciate the time. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing really well. start, if we could, just with a reaction to today's proceedings?
Yeah, it's a pretty shocking result. And Pete laid it out well. Not only is this unprecedented in college sports, I think this is unprecedented in all of sports, because really since the Black Sox scandal in the 1900s, the number one cardinal sin in sports was betting on your own team. Nothing was as damaging or seen as damaging to the integrity of a game as betting on your own team. And so this is the first time, I think, in the history of sports, in this country at least, that a league has been unable to ban someone for betting on their own team.
I understand very clearly, though, there's a difference between NCAA rule and law, and you please correct me if I'm wrong or maybe shed some light here. The NCAA ruled Brenden Sorsby ineligible, but the court's job was not to uphold NCAA rule, right? It's to interpret the law. So what law here was this judge interpreting?
Right. It's a great question. And generally these challenges have been that it's illegal for all the schools to come together to prevent someone from playing. Those are all the eligibility cases, or most of the eligibility cases we've seen before, about guys wanting 5 or 6 or 7 years. Here they brought a different claim. They said there is a contract between the NCAA and the athletes. And the NCAA has to follow certain rules, including giving athletes an opportunity to explain why they should remain eligible, why, even though he had bet on all these games and admitted betting to them, that he should not be banned. And the judge was convinced, at least at this preliminary stage, that the NCAA violated its own rules. So really the law here is just the contract between the NCAA and Brenden Sorsby. So it's not some underlying other main area of law. It's just a very simple contract, and you have to follow the rules of your own association. And the judge said it doesn't look like they followed their own rules.
Can you elaborate a little further? How did they not follow their rules?
Well, what they argue, and so this is hard to determine based on the judge's ruling, because the judge's ruling is only about 2.5 pages. It does not say very much at all in it. But the argument that Sorsby made and his lawyers made was that they should have considered the fact or the allegation or the claim that he has a gambling addiction, and that given his gambling addiction, it was not fair under the NCAA's rules that he be banned for life, that instead he should have been rehabilitated, received treatment, try to fix and eliminate his addiction rather than punish him and ban him for it. And again, the judge, I think everybody expected this case to be rejected, that Sorsby would lose, because there's no precedent for it. There's nothing in the rules that the NCAA seems to have violated on its face. The NCAA said, we did consider his allegations that he was addicted, and we still banned him, because it doesn't matter why you're betting on games. If you're betting on games, you're banned for life. So it's hard to know exactly why the judge ruled on this, but what I think, again, is clear is that this is unprecedented, and I don't think we'll see this type of case. I know people have said this might open the door for many, many other athletes to sue. I just don't see this coming up very often. One, because not that many athletes are banned for life, and two, not many athletes have a doctor saying that they were addicted to gambling, and that's why they were gambling and banned for life. But that's what at least they've argued, is that they should have taken into account his problem, his addiction, and that really this is more of a mental health issue than an integrity of the game issue.
Gabe Feldman's Tulane sports law professor. You can get him on X at Sports Law Guy. I did notice that earlier on Twitter you were addressing the thought by some that this was home cooking with a local judge in Texas. We know one judge already recused himself from this case. There was a photo of him with the Texas Tech mascot doing the guns up. Pew, pew. Is this not the case with Judge Curry?
Well, it's not the case, at least on its face, for two reasons. I don't know anything about Judge Curry other than what I've read recently about him. But he is not from Lubbock. He did not go to Texas Tech. He went to rival Texas schools. He was an elected judge, but not in Lubbock. He's been retired for about 15 years. So is there the possibility of home cooking? Yes, of course. But this is not one that screams of it on its face. I think there's plenty to criticize the judge about in this decision, but I don't think his ties to Texas Tech are at the top of that list.
Got a couple more for you, Gabe. Does the NCAA have any further recourse, or is this it?
No, they can appeal. They have a right to appeal to a court in Texas State Court, and theoretically, this could go all the way up to the highest levels. But the challenge for the NCAA is whether they can get an appeal heard and determined in time for it to matter. Because if Sorsby gets to play all the way through to, let's say, the college football playoffs or the national championship, however far they make it, and then the NCAA wins, they haven't won anything. And so it's possible that just by delay, the NCAA could lose. But they still do have a right to appeal. And then the other thing that they are trying desperately to do, and it's been in the news a lot, is get Congress to step in. And Charlie Baker, the NCAA president, has already posted on social media that this is exactly why. I also posted something similar to this before he did, but this is exactly why they need Congress to step in, because, again, as Pete said at the top of this, they don't want, and I don't think anybody wants, state court judges or state legislators to be able to change the rules of this national association. Because if Sorsby can play, because a Texas judge said he can, then what happens if a player gets suspended in California and that judge doesn't let him play? Well, how is it fair, and why and how should we be letting state court judges who are elected and state legislators who are elected to basically govern college sports in a way that might give their home team a competitive advantage?
What?
Other than that, it's all simple.
I have a couple more, and I'll do it quickly, and your time is very much appreciated. But I am curious, and this may be outside of your purview, but could the NCAA elect to have Texas Tech forfeit every game that Sorsby plays because they're using an ineligible player?
Yeah, so there is a rule of restitution, which basically says that you can't, even if the decision is reversed later on, you can't go back and require the team to forfeit its games.
Okay.
And so, the NCAA has in the past said that if you win an injunction, but then it gets reversed, they can go back and forfeit all the games. And the judge here said, we're not allowing you to implement that rule. There's nothing in there that says they can't require them to forfeit the games on the front end. And I suppose there's an argument they could say, look, Sorsby, you can play, we're just not going to count the games. But my guess, based on the order, is that the judge wouldn't allow them to do that, and that the plaintiff's lawyer would go back to court to say, look, the whole point of this order was to allow him to play without penalty. And if you require them to forfeit the games, that's basically saying you can't play.
Gabe, if you look into your crystal ball, what do you think happens next?
Crystal ball has been shattered long ago. I think it is. Look, I thought there was almost no chance that Sorsby would win this case. So we're already in unprecedented times. I think it is more likely than not that an appeal is not heard in time. But I think if it is heard in time, I wouldn't be surprised if the injunction gets overturned and the ban is reinstated, which would put him in a really difficult position because the deadline to declare for the NFL supplemental draft is coming up in a couple of weeks. So it would be unfortunate, no matter what you think of this decision or of Sorsby, for him to find out in July that he's no longer eligible to play in the NCAA, but has missed his window for the supplemental draft.
He's Gabe Feldman, Tulane sports law professor. You can get him on Twitter at Sports Law Guy. We appreciate the time. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's After Further Review, brought to you by Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor. Man, with all of the, my goodness, with all of the rain we have been having this month, and you see water intrusion, that could be a breeding ground for mold. Listen, I say it all the time. Louisiana is the mold capital of the world because it is wet and humid. That is the perfect conditions for mold. So if you've had water intrusion in your home, you might have a mold problem, not even know it. Let Parish Restoration come out, do a full assessment. It's mold remediation done right the first time, but it's not just mold. It's sanitization. It's odor. Maybe you got odor from pets or smoke or whatever. Parish Restoration can help. Log on to parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com to learn more and to get that free estimate, parishrestoration.com. All right, it's After Further Review. Appreciate Gabe Feldman for joining us there, shedding a little light. I do find it interesting, though, that if Sorsby was able to get an expedited hearing, why then couldn't the appeal, it's something I should have asked Gabe, be expedited also? It'll be interesting to watch how this unfolds, but maybe the thing that's most interesting to me today, I can't say that I'm floored or terribly surprised this went the way that it did. It just sort of felt like an inevitability that this is how it's going to go. Maybe it's just a cynical point of view because we've seen so many cases like this. But the reaction collectively from college football has been so visceral. And the people that actually could maybe impact the decision made by Texas Tech or the school saying, we're just not going to play you this year. So that maybe there could be enough pressure forced upon Texas Tech for allowing Sorsby to go to court to be eligible despite very clearly breaking the one rule you can't break that we all know you cannot break. Maybe that pressure bust the pipes. We'll see. It's a fascinating time. Okay, we're not going to quick break. Come back and wrap up hour number 1. Don't you move.
After Further Review.
Man, we had an awesome day Saturday. Eric and I had some friends over with their kiddos. Families got together, had a pool day. It's awesome. Ate a few fajitas, drank a few margaritas, hung out by the pool. Those are some of my favorite days. And it's possible because we have a pool. If you've thought of having a pool, putting in a pool, maybe you have a pool, just old, dated, needs to be renovated, remodeled, you need Duplessis Pools. And you can start online right now at duplessispools.com, duplessispools.com. When you go to the homepage, there's a Pick Your Pool button right there on the homepage. You can get started in this whole process literally right now. I mean, grab your phone, go to your desktop, duplessispools.com, duplessispools.com. Don't do it if you're driving. Be safe. But go to duplessispools.com and just start exploring the site. You can pick out your tiling, your coping, your lights, your water features, all of it. You can finance, pay for it online right now, get in the queue. It's so easy. Make that dream a reality and let Duplessis Pools help. duplessispools.com.
After Further Review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Launched to left. Jackson, goodbye.
Well, it's the time of the year when you want your stars to show up. And Daniel Jackson, in my opinion, is going to win the Golden Spikes Award. His 31st long ball of the season.
Georgia. What theater that was against Mississippi State. Game 1, State led 7-0, blew it. Game 2, Georgia led 7-2, blew it, and then needed heroics in the 10th to punch their ticket to Omaha. If you missed today, Alabama beat St. John's, Oklahoma beat Kansas, so 2 more squads headed to Omaha. 5 of the 8 teams in the College World Series are representing the SEC. Pretty stunning. Not necessarily to see the SEC representation that well, but Bama and Oklahoma, I mean, sometimes you get lucky with the draw, and that's what happened with these teams. So 5 of the 8 teams in Omaha representing the Southeastern Conference. And I'll tell you 2 things that are interesting. One, it's a great reminder that even if, look, I get it from an LSU fan perspective, it sucks that LSU's not in there. But do you love LSU baseball or do you love college baseball? Like if LSU's not in the college football playoff, my guess is you're probably still watching the college football playoff because you love college football. If you really love college baseball, then you'll be watching the College World Series because the College World Series is on and it's great theater. And my goodness, regionals and supers, have they delivered? It has been awesome theater the last 2 weekends, as much as it sucks that LSU's not there. But the longing for it makes you want to get back even more. The other thing, I said there were 2 things. The other thing, you really might want to cheer against Georgia because they currently have 174 home runs on the season, which means they are 14 away from tying a record that many felt was untouchable. LSU's 1997 team, the 188 home runs they hit that year, that was forever thought to be an unbreakable mark. Kind of like Lou Gehrig's Iron Man streak that Cal Ripken broke. But I guess records are made to be broken. Georgia's 14 away from tying LSU, 15 to break that record. And that may seem like, how are they going to hit 15 homers in Omaha? You watch this team? You watch this team play? I mean, they're going to a bigger park. Good pitching, all that sort of stuff. But I may like to see the Dogs go 2-Q, man. Get out of there and keep that record intact. It might be the one thing I'm really pulling for right now for the rest of this College World Series. I mean, in theory, they could end up playing 7 games at the College World Series. 7 games, 2 a game, you tie the mark. I'm a little uncomfortable saying it, man, but it's possible. All right, it's after further review. We are brought to you by South Point Volkswagen, southpointvw.com. New, certified, pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at southpointvw.com. I was talking to Brad over there, the business manager at South Point today. So I always get a lease, and I renew my lease every 3 years, just get a different vehicle. So my current Cross Sport, it's up on Sunday, on the 14th. So this week I'll be over at South Point picking out a new vehicle. I'm going to get a Cross Sport again. I love it. The 3-row, 7-seater family SUV is the Atlas. The Cross Sport just takes out the 3rd row. So it's been awesome for me. I love it. Style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost. Like I always say, I'm going to upgrade, though, to the SEL. Get the souped-up package on this one, which I didn't get on the last one. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to splurge, treat myself to it this time. Anyway, shop them online at southpointvw.com. New and certified pre-owned, southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction? All right, y'all, it is after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on this Monday edition of AFR presented by Relief Windows. There's a lot we're going to get to in the next hour, including Caden Ellis meeting with reporters discussing his decision to return to the Saints. But when we come back, LSU has landed 4 commitments in the last 24 hours, and the strategy is very apparent.
After further review.
Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. We love telling you about our friends at Our Lady of the Lake, part of the FMOL health system, which is more than 20,000 strong, as a $5 billion health system with nationally recognized quality and not one but 2 exceptional workplace awards from Gallup. FMOL Health has built something people trust and continues to grow to meet the needs of the communities they serve. As we mentioned, when LSU needed a championship health partner to care for its student athletes, they chose Our Lady of the Lake. And that tells you everything you need to know, because that same level of care isn't just for athletes. It's for you and your family and for communities across the region. It's bigger than sports. It's about having a health system that you can count on. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU. Together, we roar. Learn more at olrmc.com/LSU. olrmc.com/LSU.